Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. The physicians of Jamestown Primary Care are happy to sponsor the Senior Report. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Senior Report. I'm Doc Hamels, as you probably know. I usually sit on the other side of the TV picture here, but today I will be hosting the show. Reed is somewhere. We have no idea where he is. He's going to be calling in about 9:15 or so. So as you know, it's usually a rollicking time. We'll listen to some sea captains and directors of Carnival lines with thick accents, and we're going to do our very best to translate what they're saying. And of course, Reed is always excited to talk with all of us. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. Boy, is this a crazy season or what? We got politics going crazy. We think every time we have a presidential election that things can't get any goofier, and they just never fail to amaze us. You know, I was thinking, you know, if I ran for president, Randy, all of our shows are on YouTube, so I gotta be careful what I say, because someday it could come back and haunt me. So Reed always tells me that I play it safe. Well, there's a reason, son. I could be your next candidate. Okay, you know, last week we had a great time here. Bill, Joel, and I, we were on the show, and it was the first time I think we ever had a chair as a second guest. Reed was talking to a chair. He was doing his Clint Eastwood routine there, so that was lots of fun. Okay, I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine who had a birthday this month, Jack Dean over in Westfield. If you know Jack Dean, he is an incredible, intrepid guy. I can say to him, hey, Jack, what do you know about skiing in Chautauqua County? Or what about the ferry or the sea lion or anything historical in this place? I think Jack's like 150 years old now, and I'm just kidding, Jack. I know you watch the show. But anyways, happy birthday, Jack. And if you have never had a chance to sit and chat with Jack, he's just such an interesting fellow. He just knows so much about everything around here, and he's quite the entrepreneur. I don't know about you guys, but I was on the way over here, I was driving, and the birds were flocking up on the power lines. I mean, there was thousands of them. I don't know if they were starlings or what they were. So I guess no matter what's happening, nature's doing its thing, and we're going to be looking at some cooler weather. But it's a little cloudy today and a little bit of rain, but I see little specks of sunlight coming through. But tomorrow isn't looking too promising, but it is fall. But the good news is the folks that are harvesting grapes, I'm guessing that they're probably about 75% done, if not all done. Randy just gave the thumbs up that they're all done, but I suppose it just depends on how large your farms are. But you know, how many times have we seen the poor guys in the pickers stuck in snow or down in the mud holes because of the rain? So we're happy that you had an early harvest, but unfortunately it wasn't as good of a harvest as it could have been. Okay, coming up, I got an announcement to make. We're going to switch cameras here in a second, I think. Here I'm directing the cameraman. I should be quiet, let you guys do your job. Coming up on October 20th, an event that's near and dear to all of our hearts here in the West County is the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club Gold Rush. This is a great opportunity, folks, to support the Rotary Club because of all the great things that they do. This is a thing that's been going on for many, many years. Tickets are $30. That sounds a little like, but listen to this. You get a full steak dinner, and I mean a nice, huge strip steak thing. And there's baked potatoes and dessert and salad and all that. All the beer and soda you can drink. And the first prize, the top prize in this, is $1,000. And every year we give away $1,000. And there's other prizes. Let me give you a little update on this. There's a 200, 125. There's a bunch of 50s. No, excuse me. Well, there are some other 50s here. Let me see. Yeah. And then what they do is they pick out every single ticket. Every ticket is drawn, and every 10th ticket is a winner. So you can win anywhere from $10 up to $1,000 in the end. And it's a lot of fun. It's at the the Fireman's Exempt Hall on Bourne Street, and that's on October 20th. So mark your calendars now. Tickets are going really fast. And if you need tickets, you can see Harry Barton or Adam Dimitri over at the bank at Lakeshore, or myself. So that's coming up, so I just wanted to mention that. We'll be talking about that more and more as we go along. All right, let's see what else will we have here. One of our sponsors is the Lakeview Restaurant. And folks, I know Reed talks about it quite often, as we should, because they're a dear sponsor of ours for many years. Great food, and if you go there, you get good service, delicious food, lots of it, good portions. But I want to tell you about another restaurant. So Friday nights, you could go to Lakeview, and on another night of the week, I got to tell you about this place. It's called the Corner Cafe. Corner Coffee House. I'll get it right. I was saying it wrong. Corner Coffee House. It's in Frewsburg, New York. Bill and I played there last night. I got to tell you, if you like a nice, easy atmosphere, just like the Lakeview, good food, same thing. They have live music a couple nights of the week. Check it out. The Corner Coffee House in Frewsburg. Great night. All right. Remember, folks, this is a live call-in show. We'll be introducing our guest here in a few minutes. She's from the Westfield Memorial Hospital, and I promise you're going to learn a lot about your hospital here in the West County. Just a few things I want to bring up. As far as announcements go, the American Association of Retired People, AARP, meets 1:30 the second Tuesday of each month at the First Lutheran Church in Jamestown. Now you might say, well, we live here, you know, in Westfield or Mayville or whatever, but this is a county-wide organization. Check it out. The Harmony Senior Citizens, they meet the first Thursday of each month, and at 5 p.m. In the Panama United Methodist Church. I mention this because I see this all the time. I run into seniors, and we'll get to read in just a second. The people are widowed or widowers, and they have no place to socialize. These senior groups are great. They're great opportunities for folks to get together, talk, have fun, talk to people of their own age, and share some good memories. But I just got word through my little earpiece here, my little announcer, Reed is with us. Reed is in the house. Good morning, Reed.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just like you're right next to me. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sitting on the Carnival Miracle right now and having a great time. We're having a trip you can't believe. We had a dinner last night that'll blow your mind. I had the best steak I've ever had in my life. They have a special steakhouse here.
How many did you eat?
And also, I was a real pig. I had also some of their, you know me, and lamb chops. I'm sitting here with two people who are very important to the ship, and they're some of the most experienced and highly celebrated people in the Miracle family. We've got with us Vito Giacalone, who happens to be the captain, and he is going to be talking a little bit about the ship and things going here. And then we have the guy who's in charge of the ship, the basic other things in the ship, and that is, of course, the director of hotel. And his name here is Nikos Batistatos, and you'll have the photographs. They come in?
Oh, yeah, we can see you. And
okay, now the bigger guy is Nikos. He's the director of all the affairs
is he
the
the
passengers.
Is he the one with the glasses?
The little guy is.
Is Mikos? Does he wear glasses?
Nico wears. No, the bigger guy wears glasses, and that is Nikos.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you can distinguish as to who we're talking to here.
All right, we got it.
Now, okay, John. Now I'm going to ask the captain, Vito Giacalone, to tell us a little bit about his experience here, the ship, and he can talk about anything he wants. And I'm sure that you'll have a very adventurous. And anybody who calls in, just put them on, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, and I certainly appreciate you taking a break out of your programming. Who do you have on?
We've got Kandy Susi. We haven't introduced her yet, but she's coming up. She's in the wings waiting to come on.
She's in the green room, okay?
She's in the green room.
Well, here's Vito. He is the captain. He is God Almighty on this ship.
God
He's the one
Almighty.
who runs everything and directs everything. Everything is under him.
Okay.
And, of course, Nikos is a second in command who really runs the other stuff.
All right.
Third in command. Vito, you want to say hello?
Hello, how are you
Hey,
there?
this is John, or Doc, we call him Doc.
Good morning, Vito. Good morning.
Very good. Good morning to you. Well, you know, it's, of course, I'm a dog driver here.
So how are
Being
the...
our guest, God, and I'm their chauffeur. Well, yes, that's what I do. Pretty much, I'm in charge of the health, environmental safety, and security, and about that, navigation and a few other things for the vessels. And of course, as the stand, like everybody else, the ship is a kind of a pyramidal structure, but I'm supposed to sit at the top. Without the base, I will be tumbling down the pyramid. So I need a very strong support.
Sure.
This is given by all the rest of the team. I'm on the top notches. I will tell Director Nikos that you're going to have a chance to talk about it. The other person is the ship engineer that is responsible for all the technical connection of the vessel. Then we have people like staff captain, responsible for safety, security, and things like that, right? So it's a quite large organization, and I'm sitting at the top. So I'm as good as everybody else.
Right.
The better they are, the better I look. Right? I'm a guy that always gets the blame. If everything goes right, I'm a hero.
You're a
if
hero.
everything goes wrong,
The scoundrel.
I'm the one to blame.
Vito,
That's who the captain is.
Vito, how many people are under you?
Oh, on board the cruise is this cruise that we have a 2,000 and 2,400 this cruise, but maximum we can carry around 2,700. Yes.
Wow.
These are only guests and or passengers, as in the old days they used to be called.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have another 925 team members.
Wow.
So if you do the math, it's going to be around 3,700 people, more or less, give and take, on this small boat.
Sure. It sounds like you got a lot of people to pamper, a small group of people. 2,400 people isn't that many when you got 900 people to help.
We never get so happy, and especially the team members that come from all over the world. So, sometimes we have our challenges, but we work out very well. It's as mentioned, you need to be experienced, and you need to have a very good man like Nikos on your side, and then all the wrinkles, the old iron.
Sure.
Yeah, one minute. Can you hear me here?
I can. Yes, I can.
John.
Yes.
John, one of those interesting facts is this is the longest, if not, I think it's the longest ship you have in the fleet, right?
It's the second longest.
Second longest, but it is the giant new ones they're putting out are actually a little less than this, they tell me.
Oh, well, they are 311 meters. That compares to 1,000 something feet.
Yeah.
But yes, this one is pretty long.
Yeah, the new ones are wider. You could go all the way in Westfield, you could go all the way to Clinton Street and up to a block north of south of Main Street with this ship because it's so wide. This thing's huge width, 110 feet or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hey, guys,
Overall, yes.
guys, you haven't told us where you are right now. That's what everybody's waiting to hear. Where are you, and what's the weather like?
Yeah. Go ahead, Vito. Maybe there's a little lag in time.
Yeah, I always love to say that we're at sea.
There you go.
And our position is definitely horizontal, and we're heading at 19 knots toward Grand Turk. We are about 2 hours from landing in Grand Turk. It's a beautiful day, typical Caribbean, nice and quiet, blue skies, beautiful clouds. It's going to be nice and warm, 92 degrees. So
it's almost the same as here.
Good to be here.
Oh, boy.
Well, John,
yes, Reed.
I'll tell you something. You could tell how people are reacting. You look for smiles, and there are a lot of smiles.
Well,
Yeah.
what's not to like? Great food, good service, good 92 degrees, the Caribbean. Wow. So what else is
Yeah,
good?
they have an all-night pizza shop here, if you can believe it.
Were you there?
Absolutely. I go there all the time. In the world, it comes here. That's the smartest thing Carnival ever did, was put in a huge pizza shop.
Did
Not
you,
just a stand or anything.
Reed, did you pack those elastic waistbands like I told you?
Well, I tell they weigh you when you come on,
Right.
and they weigh you when you leave, and there's a surcharge for every extra pound.
That's right. you can take it with you. It's got to pay.
Give a little break here, if you don't mind. We'll let Nikos. This is Nikos Pakisatos. He happens to be the guy he has nothing to do with the running of the ship in terms of navigation, but he sure as hell has a lot to do with how passengers do and how all this on here.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Here
Welcome
from
to the show.
Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
As Reed said and Captain Vito, I'm leading on the service and the guest services, general services on board the ship, which is the main scope and role that the guests will experience while they come with us. Our mission here is to deliver fun, memorable vacations that will last a lifetime, and definitely cruising is one of the most, the best vacation that money can buy at the moment.
And it's very cheap now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm cruising cheaper than I did 12 years ago because I checked the records.
At the same time, you experience various ports of calls, different countries, certain services, amenities, food, gourmet food, drinking, wine, the whole 9 yards. Everything is there. At the same time, entertainment, shows, comedies, you name it, we have it.
Unbelievable.
As you most likely know, we are the most popular cruise line in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Our cruise line is a party from 24 mega ships that they have to offer a lot of things to different classes and kinds of people. We cater from childs to seniors, and we have it all.
Wonderful.
You name it, we have it.
Right. Hey, has Reed been dancing or anything? What's he been doing?
Well, we have a singles group on board with 200 people, so I don't know if you already sneaked in there.
Well, some of them are pretty hot.
Have you been doing the Macarena?
I haven't done dance yet lately.
Come on, Reed.
But I'm considering it. We'll put it that way.
The guys,
We've got a lot of days left.
The crew here,
It's a long cruise. It's 8 days.
The crew here will be willing to pay for a video of you doing the Macarena, right, guys? Right. Everybody's shaking heads. Hey, we got a question here.
Well, actually, we have, I believe, the longest itinerary, Captain.
Yes.
The longest itinerary, regular itinerary from amongst the Carnival sister ships, 8 days, out of New York, year-round. We stay here year-round. And things,
changes too.
yeah, we're very committed with the Port of New York, the state of New York, and the surrounding states. It's a preferred cruise, an itinerary as well. Our ports are very exotic. St. Thomas, San Juan, Grand Turk, our private island, Half Moon Cay, which is a small token of paradise, as they say. And progressively in March 2013, we'll be bringing a bigger ship, the Carnival Splendor, that will replace the Miracle, because the demand, I believe, is much better.
Mm-hmm. How many people going to spend this?
The Splendor holds 3,600 and almost 1,200 crew, so it's a way bigger ship. And the Miracle will be repositioning in Alaska. Well, California, Long Beach.
Sounds wonderful.
Hawaii, Mexico, Riviera, and then Alaska.
Great. Hey, Reed.
At the same time, as I mentioned before, we're very committed to the New York area.
Sure.
We're an affordable cruise line, so we like to give options.
You're the cheapest on this trip.
And we like to be popular, so this is what we do.
Great.
This is what we do.
Well, Nikos will, of course, give you a discount if you call in personally.
Hey, Reed, we got to get going here, but before we do, we got a question for the captain, okay? We got a caller that called in.
You're on.
All right, here's the question.
I'm here.
All right, here's the question for the captain. How long does it take to become a sea captain of one of those ships?
Oh, well, it's just like it's how long is to win the lottery. It's the first day. No, let's be serious here. I'm going to give you my history. I graduated in 1981 from Maritime College, and I became a captain in 2002. So it took me only 21 years for me to become a captain.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Captain at 42.
Uh-huh.
So
well done.
It's I say nowadays, we should say possibly it's not an average, but let's say, as a benchmark, about 21 years.
Okay.
If you do everything right, you come out of school, young bloke that's 42 years old, you can be a captain and have another 20 plus career years.
You're lucky. But you have a lot of other training, too.
Oh, but yeah, well, the training never stops. I mean, I just come out of school, and then I start training.
Okay, guys, well,
the boot camp.
Reed, we probably should get going.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the time, and I hope everybody had a good time. I'll let Nikos say goodbye, and he can follow up. Nikos has an incredible background himself, unbelievable.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nikos.
The last thing that I want to say is that recently we have deployed and launched our Funship 2.0 program, which is a $500 million investment that includes extensive entertainment programs, gourmet dining, branded themes when it comes to all of these aspects, certain water park facilities, you name it. That mostly is on our new ships. We had a series of ships launched recently, the Carnival Dream, the Carnival Breeze, Carnival Magic, and then Carnival Breeze later in June. And that gets also as well implemented on the rest units of the fleet, which is exciting, which is very exciting.
Okay, well, that was Nikos Batitasos. He is the director of hotel here, meaning he does all those things he's talking about, the entertainment, the food, the beverages, all these things he's in charge of, and the housekeeping. And now the guy who really runs the ship, I want him to say goodbye. I want to give him a moment. You're on, Vito Giacalone.
Thank you very much for giving us a chance. We're having a good time here with Reed, and we're looking forward to the next port of call. I always say people come. It's nice and warm over here. The service is beyond what you can imagine.
Wonderful.
And, I'm looking forward to meet you personally also.
Okay.
Okay, John, that's an invitation. We could take our crew of 10 over and have a great time together, couldn't we?
I think we should do the senior report from one of those ships. What do you think, Reed?
We should do the whole thing right off the ship.
Everybody's nodding yes.
We do have the facilities. We could work it.
Hook it up.
Well, thanks again, John.
All right.
And, I see the palm trees are coming up and the beaches. They have these gorgeous beaches here. We're going to spend all day here in Grand Turk. And if you don't know where Grand Turk is, look on the map.
I will. All right, Reed. Well, safe travels. Have a wonderful vacation. You certainly have earned it. And we'll see you real soon, okay?
Thanks a lot. And I'll tell everybody I wish them the best. I love them all, and I'll be back next week.
You just did.
I'm signing off.
Sign off.
The Carnival Miracle. Just outside of Grand Turk.
There you have it,
Take it
folks.
easy over there.
All right, we will. There you have it, folks. Reed Powers in the Grand Turk, down somewhere in the Caribbean. Okay, well, we're going to cut through some of this stuff real quick because we really want to get to our program today. As I was saying, there are various senior groups. The Ripley Senior Citizens meet at noon on the third Friday of each month. They have a tureen lunch at the Baptist Church in Ripley. The Young at Heart Seniors in Findlay Lake meet monthly, and they have tours. And if you want to find out more information, talk to Helen Klockner at 769-7546. And last one, the Ellery Senior Citizens meet at the second Friday of each month at 12:30 at St. Timothy Lutheran Church. Again, guys, these groups are there for you. Enjoy. Get out of the house, especially in the wintertime. Boy, what a horrible way to spend your winter, just sitting around bored and wondering what you should be doing. Get out there. There's a lot of fun. A lot of your friends are out there. We're going to take a public service announcement break, and then we're going to get right to the heart of the show. This is for you, folks.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
There you go.
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
Right, and we're back. Hey, Randy, can you do a close-up of this? I don't know if you can do this or not. It's pretty. There you go. What a cameraman. We did it. Westfield Memorial Hospital is here to stay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you for the first time on the Senior Report, the director of the Westfield Memorial Hospital, Kandy Susi. Welcome.
Thank you, Doc.
Well, Kandy, we have the rest of the hour to share with our viewers about the Westfield Memorial Hospital. Many of you may know that some crazy things were going on a couple of years ago, and there's always these little rumors floating around out there. But before we get to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where do you come from, and how did you get into this business?
You know, Doc, I grew up in a small town in McKean County, Pennsylvania, actually smaller than Westfield.
Sort of like Ripley, sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. I came to Erie in 1982 to go to college, and have been in Erie ever since. Been with the St. Vincent Health System for over 20 years.
Doing what? Like what?
Well, I was at the Regional Cancer Center, which is a joint venture of St. Vincent, one of their joint ventures, for about 17 years, and I was the chief financial officer for the majority of those years. So finance is my background.
Okay.
Spent 17 to 18 years at the Regional Cancer Center, and then I moved over to the owner hospital, St. Vincent Health Systems, and did physician contracting, and then about a year ago was asked to take the assignment at Westfield Memorial Hospital. Been excited to do that, and happy to be here with you this morning to tell you about it.
So you've come through the system, and now do you have family in McKean still, or as far as you know? I
don't. It's been a while, and family has moved
on all over.
Yeah, some to Florida and some to other parts of the country, but.
So what do you do when you're outside of work? Do you have any special interests?
You know, I ski, I bike. I do a lot of fitness activities. I like a lot of outdoor activities, which is great here in Chautauqua County. You have a lot of that to offer here.
Sure.
So,
a lot of skiing.
So I love being here.
Great. And I know we talked at another point in time that you've got two great-looking dogs.
I do.
We have a shared interest in love of animals. Hers are kind of puffy, and mine's kind of like raggedy. French poodles, right?
Well, I have standard poodles.
Standard poodles.
The larger.
Standard. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're French, not Irish.
Well, you know, they're actually of German descent,
Are they
Doc.
really? Okay.
But that's for another
That's another show. Okay. Well, anyways, we're happy to have you here today. And what we wanted to talk about, folks, is what does the where's the hospital headed? Where has it been for the last year or so? Because, you know, there's still people out there, and I'm not making this up, that I talk to from time to time to say, I hear you know, that hospital's probably going to be closing soon. I go, what are you talking about? And as the button says, we're here to stay. All right, so tell us a little bit about what's happened maybe since the Burger Commission days and where the hospital is, where it's heading, and so forth. Can you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that? Take your time.
Let me give you a little background. The Burger Commission, for those of you that may not be familiar, the Burger Commission was a project initiated by the state of New York to look at hospitals throughout the state reportedly to resize hospitals that may need to do so in order to better meet the needs of the community. So through the Burger Commission, back several years ago, Westfield Memorial Hospital was asked by the Burger Commission, actually mandated by the Burger Commission, to resize. Initially, the Burger Commission recommended changing the status of Westfield Memorial Hospital from an acute care facility to an outpatient facility, basically eliminating its inpatient beds, eliminating the emergency room, and having simply an urgent care facility.
Okay, let me stop for a second. Now you used the word acute. All right, what do you mean by an acute facility?
Well, that is a specific designation for inpatient beds,
okay.
Acute care, patients that need to be hospitalized.
Serious stuff.
That's right.
Not just walk-in type stuff.
Well, if it's one day, it would not be considered an inpatient acute care stay. So again, some years back, the Burger Commission recommended eliminating the inpatient beds and changing the emergency department to an urgent care facility. The outcome of that, through the support of the community, through the support of healthcare providers locally, and many others, a lot of local groups that were very supportive, as well as politicians that got involved as well, the outcome was determined that the community need is such that the hospital is needed here in this community. So the change was to reduce the number of inpatient beds, reduced from 35 down to 4 inpatient beds. The emergency department operates as an emergency department 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The emergency department is staffed by physicians about 3/4 of the time, and by physician assistants the balance of the time.
You said we're down to 4 beds in Westfield. Okay, what in the world do you do with 4 beds? I mean, we got thousands of people in this area. How does that work? Well,
as you know, Westfield Memorial Hospital is a part of the St. Vincent Health System.
Great.
So the emergency department oftentimes serves as the gateway to services in this community. And then as patients need a higher level of care, they're transferred to St. Vincent Health Center. So that way we are able to meet the needs of the community in a way that is cost efficient.
Okay, now a lot of us still watch the reruns of MASH, okay? And you always hear the word triage. Does that kind of fit into this, where maybe Westfield does triage, where they sort of see the person and sort of figure out what's going on? If they need more, they move them to the next level?
That's a very good description of it, Doc. First of all, at any emergency department, and certainly at ours, every patient is triaged when they first come in. And basically what that means is they're evaluated to determine the severity so that they can be treated very promptly to meet their medical needs, particularly if they're urgent, so that they would be met urgently. And then, as Doc said, depending on the level of need, the patient may be transported to a higher level of care if necessary. So locally, within a very short driving distance, the patient can be evaluated and triaged, and then, if necessary, transferred to another location.
Okay. Now, Westfield is, to me, seems like a small hospital. But can you tell us a little bit about the volume of the emergency room? I mean, are we talking like, 5 people a day, or how's that work?
Sure. Our emergency department sees, on average, 25 to 30 patients a day.
Really?
Yep.
That's like 1 an hour.
It's a busy emergency room. And now, summer volumes are significantly higher than that, Doc.
Okay, because of the tourist season and things like
exactly,
that.
Exactly. So the volumes wax and wane depending on time of year.
That makes sense. Okay, well, I don't think people maybe know, how do you go to the ER? Like, let's say you fall down and you injure yourself. There's an article in the Post-Journal about the risk of falling especially when you're a senior. So let's say somebody falls down and hurts themselves. I mean, how do you get to the I know this seems like a simple question, but I don't think there's a simple answer. It depends, I guess, on the situation. But how would someone get to the ER if they need to, like, right away?
Well, a variety of ways. First of all, you or your family member can bring you to the emergency room.
Okay.
Or if you need assistance in doing that, you may call 911. There may be, the local fire department may be assisting in transporting you to the emergency department. So it depends on the level of need of your situation.
Right. So what fire departments come to Westfield? Not to put you on the spot. I mean, I know there's a lot of them. But what are the ones, the more common ones, would you say? Because this is our listenership here.
Yep, sure. All of the fire departments in Chautauqua County at some time or another come to our emergency department. The ones that are most common, Westfield, Brockton, Mayville.
Ripley goes, I know, all the time.
Ripley. So, those are a few of the most common.
Okay. Great.
They do a great job. I want to, give a kudos to the EMTs. They really provide a great service, and it's all volunteer.
Right. They get called up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll hear the whistle blowing in Ripley, and off they go. Then I note that it's not just like, well, we'll just drop the patient off and leave. There's paperwork to do and all that sort of thing.
That's right.
You mentioned something called PAs. Growing up, we always heard about doctors, and now this physician's assistant seems to be creeping into our vocabulary more and more. What's the difference? How does that work?
A physician assistant works under the supervision of a licensed physician, and they're able to provide many of the services that the physician is able to provide, but again, with that oversight and supervision of the physician.
Okay, so like if the doctor isn't right there, they can call them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The physician assistant always has a physician available to assist by phone and also to come in if necessary.
Great.
So there's always a physician available immediately by phone or within 20 minutes to show up on site.
Now, if I recall, that was a requirement of the Burger Commission, I think you mentioned at one point in our discussions in the past. That was a little bit of a thing, that was a switch that they wanted.
One of the requirements of the Burger Commission was to have a physician on site in the emergency department at least 12 hours out of every 24 hours. We exceed that requirement, but that was one of the items listed in the documentation.
Okay.
And we're happy to provide that, and excited that we have our medical staff covering the emergency department. For the most part, comes out of St. Vincent Health Center Emergency Department. Many of them work at both locations, so we have a highly trained staff of physicians covering our emergency department.
Kandy, we have a caller.
Great.
Not Reed. So, good morning, caller.
Are you still waiting for Reed to call?
No, he's all done.
Oh, okay.
Hi there.
Hi there. I have a couple questions. Well, first off, I want to say it's a wonderful day, even though it's going to rain a little.
Yeah, it's kind of mild.
Still, and it's cool. Different than in the middle of summer.
Right.
And I want to take this chance to say hello to Mrs. B. And the dance classes in Westfield have started for all the children or young girls or boys that are interested.
It's the bishop.
Yes,
Mrs. Bishop.
Mrs. Bishop.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your question?
My question is, are there any, I have two questions actually.
Okay.
The first one is there any treatment here for cancer at the Westfield facility, or would you go into Erie to have it done?
Okay, let's start with that question.
We are able to provide infusions under a doctor's order.
All right, what's an infusion?
An infusion is where typically a chemotherapy, which is a drug that is used to treat the cancer, is infused into the patient. So under the doctor's order, we are able to provide infusions. We don't have an oncologist on staff at Westfield Memorial Hospital, so if you consult with an oncologist, let's say in Erie, we would work cooperatively with the physician team there to try to carry out the chemotherapy.
That makes sense.
If that were helpful
Keep it
for the
close to
patient.
home.
So we would work. It will certainly work cooperatively.
Great.
And well, I'm an elderly person, of course. I'm watching the senior report. What do you want?
Hey,
and,
anybody can watch this show.
That's true. That's true. But sometimes travel, especially in the wintertime, is difficult for seniors. And I won't drive in the snow anymore because I'm not secure enough to do it. But that's one of the reasons I was asking. And the other thing I wondered if there was wait a minute, I'm having a senior moment. The other question was about, let me see, first was the cancer. Oh, are there any plans to enlarge the Westfield Hospital at all?
Good question.
Well, there are plans to enhance the specialty services at Westfield Memorial Hospital.
Such as?
Well, we're looking at some additional specialties, working cooperatively with St. Vincent Health System in determining which specialties would be most beneficial here. So we're looking closely at that. We do have adequate space within our physical plant to accommodate that. So we would not need to increase the size of the physical plant in order to do that.
Excuse me, what kind of services, without making a commitment, would you be looking at, for example?
Well, I can tell you that a couple of the specialty services that we're looking at right now to add are pain medicine and dermatology. We certainly don't have those finalized at this time, but we're looking closely at those.
But caller, I bet there's some services that they have at the hospital that you might know. What are like the three newest services? Because I bet you guys don't know this.
Well, we have the cardiologist providing service at Westfield Memorial Hospital.
This is something new?
They were previously in Mayville.
Oh, all right.
And they relocated their offices from Mayville over to the Westfield Memorial Hospital. Those physicians are Dr. Ward, Dr. Peterson, and Dr. Borowski. And they are associated with the St. Vincent Health System. And our patients have been very, very happy with their services. And I would encourage you to call the Westfield main phone number in order to pursue.
May I insert something here?
Sure.
Speaking of St. Vincent's Hospital, I had occasion to be hospitalized there a couple times, plus just recently I went with a friend who was having a test there. And I'm very impressed with St. Vincent's.
Oh, great.
I only ran into one person that I felt was not probably doing the best job that could have been done, but everybody else that I was there for over a week. I got excellent care, and the physicians that came in were very informative, would answer your questions, and took the time to answer your questions. It didn't act like we got to rush out of here. And the food was good. I gained weight while I was there. Believe it or not, I gained weight while I was there.
Reed was telling us he was gaining weight on his cruise today. So either go to the hospital, or go get on a cruise, gain weight.
I guess. But anyways, my kudos to St. Vincent's Hospital.
Terrific.
They're doing a great job, and I'm so happy that they have affiliated with Westfield, which allows us to go, instead of having to go to Buffalo per my insurance for almost everything, because you are affiliated, and I would first go to Westfield, because usually I'd be on an emergency basis, and then I would be able to go to St. Vincent's and it would be covered.
There you go, just like we were talking about.
I'm very happy about that.
Well, thank you. Well,
thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
You know, she mentioned the affiliation with St. Vincent's, and it's really a very strong relationship from what I understand. I mean, they're like the parent of Westfield now. Is that how they call that?
Yes, St. Vincent Health System is the sole member or corporate parent of Westfield Memorial Hospital. So we work very, very closely. As the parent company, they provide many of the support services. So it's been a very beneficial relationship for this community.
Okay. We have a website that you can go to, right?
We do.
And Jeff is going to put that up for us right somewhere here.
It is WMHINC.com.
Okay. Maybe we'll put that up here in a bit. Kandy, while we're looking for that for the folks, there was something that the last caller said about the affiliation that there we go. Thank you, Jeff.
Great.
That we've been hearing about, just rumbles, something to do with Cleveland Clinic. What's that all about?
Well, St. Vincent Health System is working collaboratively with the Cleveland Clinic to create a clinical affiliation, particularly in their cardiology area.
Whoa, that's pretty important.
They're very close to finalizing that clinical affiliation, and not to preempt the announcement, so we'll leave it at that.
Something's in the works.
But there is something in the works. Pay attention. Watching the news,
okay.
You'll hear about that in the coming weeks or months.
Will you promise to let us know so we can scoop the newspapers?
We will, yes.
You'll hear it first on the senior report. So something's afoot, folks. A connection with Cleveland Clinic. How exciting would that be for our communities? And without going into all great detail, I know you can't, but would that be part of this little, you go from Westfield maybe to St. Vincent's and then something to do with Cleveland Clinic perhaps?
What it is to ensure that the level and quality of cardiology care that you receive in the St. Vincent Health System meets the standards and basically mimics the care that you would receive in cardiology through the Cleveland Clinic system.
Well,
so,
more on that as it reported at 11. More news on that.
We're excited.
I guess you would be. You talked about the ER quite a bit. Who runs the thing? Who would if I had to go in there and I don't know, busted my foot or something, who am I going to see? What doctors?
Well, first of all, who runs the emergency department? Our medical director of the emergency department is Dr. Brett Forehand.
Okay.
He also works at the emergency department at St. Vincent Health Center. So that experience of providing service at both emergency departments has served very beneficial to the Westfield Emergency Department.
Is he a pretty calm guy?
I think you have to be calm in order to
work
in an emergency department. They're all calm.
Well, that's good to know.
They're calm, cool, and collected under pressure.
All right, so if I walked into the emergency room with a busted foot, who do I talk to first? How's it work?
You're going to check in at the front desk, or maybe it may be your family member, depending on your medical condition. But either you or someone on your behalf is going to check in with the registration staff to let them know that you're there, and name and so forth, and the time that you've arrived. Very promptly, a registered nurse is going to come out and meet with the patient to, again, using this word triage, but to determine the severity of the situation, so that we may have a half dozen other patients waiting ahead of you, but depending on the severity of your situation, we may need to bring you in immediately and address your immediate need. So an RN will immediately triage the situation, and depending on the severity and depending on the patient load at that time, we'll work to expeditiously move the patients through the system. One of the advantages of our emergency department over some others is that we do have a shorter wait time. So, and we hear that from our patients. Some of our patients come from other areas of the county specifically because of that shorter wait time.
So many times I'll hear people say, I had to go to the emergency room and I was on a gurney for 3 hours in the hallway. Does that happen here?
It happens, Doc. I can't tell you that it doesn't happen, but not very often.
Not very often.
Not very often.
So, hey, like you say, it depends on the day, but people I've talked to, they've just said, the Westfield Hospital is the place to be. It's totally different. It's not different, but I mean, because of the changes that have gone on and so forth, and the new focus on service and so forth, things have really come up. Now, let me ask a couple quick questions because we're running low on time here. But let's say I bust my foot, I'm a senior citizen, and because of the economy right now, I don't have any really good insurance. How's that work? What if I walk, I can't pay? I don't have insurance.
Well, Westfield Memorial Hospital, as well as St. Vincent Health System, we are nonprofit organizations. We provide what is called a charity care program. It is based on ability to pay. So we do not turn patients away based on inability to pay. In order to qualify for the charity care program, you submit an application along with your financial supporting detail, and depending on that level of financial need, you would receive the result of that application. So again, we do not turn patients away for inability to pay. However, if a patient has the ability to pay, then they will be expected to pay. So
the reason why I bring this up, folks, is because I hear more and more lately, and this doesn't need to be seniors, but anybody, you're suffering at home, you're not feeling well, you say, I don't have the money, I don't have the insurance, and you're reluctant to go to the hospital, okay? But here's the problem. The longer you wait, the worse it gets. And if you had gone early enough, you probably could get taken care of, and you're not going to rack up big bills. So check out the emergency room. Let them have a look at you. You can always decide to walk out, right? But Kandy's telling you, they'll service you. They will help you to the best that they can, okay? So don't fret. It's a friendly place. So far, sounds like it's not too scary if I had an emergency. Okay, let's just jump right into some other things. What are the services that you can get at the hospital? Because I know it's quite a long list.
There is a long list.
And now people, get your pencils out because you're not going to believe how long this list is. Go ahead.
There are probably services that you're not aware of. Of course, we talked about the inpatient. We talked about the emergency department. We provide outpatient surgeries, including orthopedics, eye surgeries, GYN cases, gynecology, general surgery cases, including colonoscopies, endoscopies, many radiology exams, both related to or generated from the emergency department visit, as well as outpatient radiology exams, diagnostic, plain film x-rays, mammography. We have state-of-the-art digital mammography that we added in March of 2012. Ultrasound, CT, nuclear radiology exams, physical therapy.
Holy mackerel.
We
List keeps going,
we
huh?
do a great job with physical therapy, trained in the McKenzie method, and really the patients provide us with great feedback. They really like the physical therapy
Now, I
program
hear people
there.
sometimes they've had a stroke or heart attack and they need to have what do they call it,
cardiac rehab. Thank you, Doc.
How's that work?
We have cardiac rehab 3 days a week.
Okay.
So if you've had cardiac surgery, let's say in another location, but you live in this community, you don't have to drive to get your cardiac rehab services. We have them right here in the Westfield community, very convenient, and a staff that makes you feel at home.
I've heard people say, I enjoy cardiac rehab so much, I wish I could go to it more often. Can they do that?
They can.
Can anybody go?
They can. Patients get used to the program, so we have basically what is called a cardiac fitness program that once you have completed the standard medically ordered cardiac rehabilitation program, you can do a cardiac fitness where there's a small fee for that.
Okay, so pay as you go kind of a thing.
Right, right.
So it's like a gym? They do
it is. Well, it is.
Like what do they do?
We have treadmills, ellipticals. We have the physical therapist will continue to work with the staff and the cardiac rehab nurses. So you're getting the benefit of the cardiac rehab program after you've completed that official program.
You mentioned eye surgery. What do you mean by that?
Well, we have Dr. Haverly and Dr. Manassi provide ophthalmology surgery. They do a lot of cataract.
No cardiac surgery on your eye. That's a long way down.
See, I told you we have a long list of services.
Okay.
We do a lot of cataract services.
So, and that's a real senior issue. I
is.
got one eye that's getting kind of blurry in there.
Yeah.
Now, I've been hearing something about something called a sleep clinic. What's that all about?
We have a sleep lab, and what that is, we're finding the need for sleep tests more and more as, I don't know if it's, age-related, weight-related, or a number of other factors.
Or you just snore.
Sleep apnea is one of those.
Yeah.
But if you discuss with your physician, if you are having trouble sleeping, there may be a need for a sleep test. We provide those tests on site at the Westfield Memorial Hospital several nights a week. And the phone number, we can put the phone number up on the screen, and we'd be happy to try to accommodate that.
Okay, Kandy, believe it or not, we've been here for almost an hour now, and the show is just about run out of time. Folks, I hope you found the show so far of interest, and hopefully something